Hey there, Cancer. This is your March 2022 reading. Let's get into your Celtic Cross. In the current situation, we have the Queen of Coins, external influences, 10 of Swords. What's above you? King of Wands. Below you, 2 of Cups. In the past, the Lover's card. In the near future, 4 of Coins. Your attitude about the situation, you have the 6 of Swords. In your environment, 9 of Swords. Hopes and fears, 7 of Coins. And the long-term outcome, you have the Ace of Coins. The bottom of the deck, which is the influencing energy or lesson to be learned, you have the 9 of Wands, which is basically needing to prepare to defend yourself and feeling already worn out. So let's take a look at what we have here. In your past, we have the Lover's card. So it indicates either an actual relationship or it is how you make decisions. So let's take a look at your hopes and fears. You actually have the 7 of Coins, which is basically a sense of investing in something and not getting what you had expected. So that could be in your recent past. There could be something where what the decision you made wasn't necessarily for the long term. There was possibly certain expectations that you had that were not met. So I'm going to clarify the Lovers. You have the 3 of Pentacles and the Tower. So this could be some type of maybe business situation where it's not necessarily romantic love, but maybe a decision to perhaps go to a certain employer or take certain courses, get a certain degree where you can highlight your talents. And there was some kind of belief that you had really fell apart. There was some kind of maybe a blow to your ego, some divine intervention, and whatever security you thought was there kind of fell away. Clarifying the Tower, you have the 9 of Wands. So perhaps you thought that this was going to be something that was, easy, and it wasn't. But basically, it was more work than you anticipated. And here with your hopes and fears being the 7 of Coins, I'm going to go ahead and clarify that. Yeah, the Chariot, which is your card, Cancer, and the 9 of Pentacles. So really, it's the hopes and fears is that you invest in something and it comes out to be something good, as you are all about security, making sure that your home is one that you're proud of, that the efforts that you put into it are going to be rewarded, and that you can enjoy the benefits of those rewards. And with the Chariot, it's basically you're pretty much willing to do almost anything to attain those things. What we have here in the current situation, we have the Queen of Coins, which indicates us, being someone that manages their time well, that wants to be able to be a good business person. The external forces, 10 of Swords, indicates either over-analyzing a situation or really trusting someone where they weren't the person to be trusted. So I'm going to go ahead and clarify the Queen of Coins, present situation. You have the Ace of Cups and Temperance. So with that, it's really you want to be in a place where everything is good, that you can have an open heart, that you can approach people with great expectations of what can come about from the relationship. With the Temperance card, it's a sense of peace, but it's also a need to for moderation. So if you are expecting too much, then it really sets everyone up for failure. So I'm going to clarify the Temperance. You have the Hermit card, which is really about withdrawing from everyone, like really being in a good place internally, having an inner truth. I'm going to clarify that. You have the Eight of Swords, which excuse me, is basically mental limitations and really feeling that you're constricted, but you do have the ability to take off the blindfold, to move around. You can see in this card, this individual is standing in a very shallow puddle of water, which indicates the emotions are kind of shallow as well. So when it comes to the situation, the Queen of Coins, it could be that there's a bunch of hope there and want, but in terms of actually doing something to contribute to a positive outcome, it's feeling that really it's not something they have control over. In terms of what crosses or the external influence, the Ten of Swords is either over-analyzing a situation or basically trusting on people. So I'll clarify that. You have the World card, and you have the Ace of Swords. So those are objectively two positive cards, which indicates completion of one journey, starting a new journey with a sense of clarity, new ideas. But if there is some false belief, some concern that's really plaguing our mind, then maybe there's this Ten of Swords where it should be the end of that suit. Things should be the Ace of Swords. It's really, there's no clarity, or there's a sense of being stuck or making the same decisions. So I'm going to clarify the World card. So Wheel of Fortune could be karma, could be repeating patterns. So I'm going to clarify that. And Two of Wands. So it's where, interestingly, in this card, the individual has the world in the palm of their hand. So it's almost as if the situation is wanting all these great things and hoping to accomplish them, but really not being able to complete a cycle, not being able to see things through, which might indicate why there's this Nine of Wands here, clarifying the Tower and the Lovers in the past situation, and the Nine of Wands as the bottom of the deck. But there is still more to look at. So let's take a look at what is in your conscious mind, which is the King of Wands. So again, an idea of grand achievements, being a visionary leader, just really making your mark on the world. I'm going to clarify that. You have the Seven of Wands, and you have the Emperor. So what I'm sensing here is, Cancer, what is in your mind is this goal where it's a fixed idea almost of you need to be in a place of worthy of defending. I'm going to clarify the Emperor. You have the Fool, which is almost the opposite of the Emperor. Emperor is about security, about rules, boundaries. The Fool is about breaking them. So in a sense, the King of Wands is a true visionary leader because they don't let limitations or boundaries prevent their vision. So I'm going to clarify the Fool here. You have the Queen of Wands. So with the King of Wands, Queen of Wands, the kind of fiery match made in heaven there, really it's almost like you feel like you need to make a mark on the world, or that's the thought process. And in the unconscious mind, it's the Two of Cups, where really you just want to connect with others. You want a true connection and relationship. It's not about status or making a mark on the world or some great achievement. It's just a true connection. Clarifying Two of Cups, you have the Four of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords again, which is, a sense of security and foundation. And the Ten of Swords is kind of overthinking it. So it could be that when you truly are sensing a connection, that you retreat to a place of needing to be secure and closed off, and really that leads to the downfall. But that I'm looking back at the Lovers card in the past, where it could be there's, tied up with expectations. There's certain expectations when you connect with someone or you make a decision to do something and you feel it's going to be, easy, or this is exactly what you wanted, and somehow your mind kind of comes in and messes with the situation. Your attitude about this situation here is the Six of Swords, which is a sense of healing, but also being between two shores, neither here nor there, having to leave a situation and not exactly knowing where to go, but with the idea that it's better than where you were. So I'm going to clarify that. You have the Queen of Swords and you have the King of Wands again. So here it's kind of making me wonder if there is something in your environment that these are people in your environment where there's a sense of one person being a, loosey-goosey, let's do what's fun right here, right now, and someone who's a little bit more rigid and has to follow the rules. And that this Six of Swords is kind of a transition between both of those aspects that might have had an impact on your the way you look at things. So in your environment, you have the Nine of Swords, and this is kind of fear and anxiety. So there's something going on in your environment where there is that fear and anxiety. It's typically not you, but that environment can have an impact on how you feel about things. So I'm going to clarify the Nine of Swords. You have the Justice card, and you have the King of Cups. So with the Justice card, it's a sense of needing balance, and with the King of Cups, it's a sense of emotions. I'm going to further clarify this. I'm not sure if there's some emotional instability in your environment where you're kind of like this fear and anxiety is a result of that instability. So I'm going to clarify the Justice card here. Oh, these two wanted to come out. So you have the High Priestess and the Page of Wands, which indicates a sense of things that are hidden, secrets. The Page of Wands, it's sharing of those secrets. So could be that there's something that in your environment that has to be kept secret, and there's a fear of it coming out when it has to do with instability of, emotional situation. Let me further clarify the High Priestess here. You have the King of Pentacles. So perhaps it's in the environment, maybe it's a mentor or a father figure where there is some secrets about that individual. And with the Six of Swords here, the King of Wands clarifying that it might be that this individual was kind of free-loving, carefree, did what they want, but there was some type of background chatter about that being an indication of instability as opposed to and someone that was secure and actually could provide and protect for their family. So that's what I'm picking up here. In your near future, you have the Four of Pentacles, which is about self-security. We saw the Four of Pentacles back when we were clarifying the Two of Cups in your unconscious mind. So there's this underlying protective defense mechanism, and it seems that that's what you're going to be reverting to. So let's clarify the Four of Coins. King of Swords, Two of Cups. So it's a very rigid, business-like, analytical approach to forming relationships. It's about self-preservation and making sure that the outcome of what you want is what you get. So I'm going to clarify the Ace of Coins because that is the long-term outcome, which indicates something new. So could it be a sense of if you aren't happy with something, like here when I clarified, when I was clarifying these cards here, the Queen of Coins and Ten of Swords, were basically completing something isn't really complete, and it's just a new cycle of something, where really if you don't complete something, you're just creating a new project, a new goal, a new job, because things aren't going to work out. You just cut them off. It's about self-preservation. If you're not getting what you want, you just start over again. So that's what it's looking like. I'm going to clarify the Ace of Coins. You have the Queen of Cups. And you have the Ten of Cups. So maybe in this process somehow you are recognizing how your environment is influencing you. You are kind of maybe making smarter choices for yourself based on what your mind is telling you and some part of what your conscious mind is telling you and your unconscious mind is telling you. And it seems also, this past experience with the Lover's card, it's going to stick with you for a bit. But if cutting things off earlier makes it so that you are not investing in something that isn't what you want it to be, then yeah, that seems to work for you. So Cancer, at the bottom of the clarifying deck, we have the Hierophant, which is about kind of tradition, about institutions. So here it seems that you're wanting something maybe more for long term, and you're not willing to settle for less, which, if you've determined that, then that's great. That's what you want for your future. Let me go ahead and pull an oracle card here for some wisdom from the universe. It says, change direction with ease. This is a time for change, shape-shifting, or your soul's evolution. It is a time to reconsider what you are wanting. You may be in for a surprise. So this is about recognizing change, what makes you feel secure. If you're able to see that things aren't making you feel secure and you can easily switch directions to do something new, then that might be a good pace for you. So this is what I have at this time, Cancer. I'm hoping this provides some helpful perspective, and we'll see you next time. Take care.